guys, and welcome to Life Balance with Dr. Chin. And today, I have the pleasure of a fantastic guest. He's always been in the industry for making things happen. Okay, so this time around, he's going to be talking to us on environment. Yes, we know what's happening globally, lots of issues, global warming, waste everywhere, plastic waste is blocking our drainages and all of that. Okay, globally, it's not just Nigeria. So we have this expert who's going to be talking to us on how to take care of our environment. And that's no other person than the blockchain expert himself in the person of Ambassador Dr. Gilead Okoloko. Dr. Gilead, you're welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Dr. Chime.
Welcome back to the show. And of course, Dr. Gilead is still on the call today. He's let me introduce him properly because I'm sure most of you don't know who we're talking about. This guy has done a lot of things for the youth, for the community, Africa precisely, and he's very vast when it comes to blockchain technology. He's also a very seasoned leader, okay, professional for that matter. He's featured in so many magazines, and of course, it's one of the you know um, 40. He's featured as one of the most influential 100 CEO in Africa. So when he's talking, I think it's very important that we listen to every bit of things he says. Okay, and so today he's still talking about environment, but I know him as a blockchain person, so I'm trying to see the connection between blockchain and the environment. Okay, so Dr. Gilead,
Yeah.
tell me, the blockchain and then environment, how are they interconnected?
It is a good synergy because, and that is why I am very much interested in the waste removal solution
Okay.
provided by CORSAIR International Group.
Okay.
As the executive coordinator for Africa, the objective is that the solution of tracking waste that has been recycled passes through the blockchain.
Okay.
So that is why when we help individuals, companies, and organizations to track their plastic waste footprint, what that means is that what is the volume or kilos of waste that you are pushing into the environment?
Okay.
As an individual, from the research that has been conducted, everybody contributes 50 kilos of plastic waste knowingly or unknowingly on a yearly
Sorry,
basis.
I didn't get that. How
As
many
you are,
Yeah.
50 kilos
Of.
waste, plastic waste. This include pure water, water bottle,
Yeah.
the nylon, the whatever, all of
Yeah,
those
yes,
things
yes,
you put
that's
together,
true.
you only push it out.
That's true.
And the fact that there is nothing like a way.
Mm.
So if you say you throw it away, there is no a way because that thing is going to last in the earth or somewhere. And some of these particular plastic waste material last about 450 years before it is decomposed.
But I think that because we give it to the the waste people, it just goes. I mean, we don't really care about where it goes. So we know we put it in our trash and they come carry it away. So
That is what you said,
Is it not
like-
well managed?
Fine, you said away. Now let us look at the percentage of plastic waste that is recycled in Africa. Record shows that it's less than 4%.
Wow.
So every of those material that you throw out, less than 4% is recycled. So where's the remaining close to about 96%? It's either dumped in landfills or it's actually burnt, which causes air pollution. So that is why both the European Union, America, and the African Union are now interested
Yeah.
in how do we curb this particular issue. So back to your question, what's the connection? Now the connection is that this particular solution that is being provided by CORSAIR is designed that when you support CORSAIR in the removal of plastic waste,
Okay.
you are given what is called CSR plastic credits.
CSR
Plastic credits.
meaning
A digital receipt of plastic waste that has been recycled.
okay, just like what they have like carbon
Like the carbon credits
what they have in the
in
US.
the
and all
US.
of that.
Exactly.
Okay.
So now, whenever we talk about CSR plastic credit, it is the evidence of the job done by CORSAIR International. CORSAIR International is a recycling company, petrochemical recycling company that is based in Netherlands.
Okay.
And they have administrative office in Amsterdam, and then we also have an office in Thailand.
Okay.
Now we have our recycling facility in Thailand, in Finland, and in Laos.
Okay. But you don't have it in Nigeria?
That is why I'm here. That's why we're talking about this, yes.
Okay.
The goal is that there is a 3 years roadmap on how we can get these recycling facilities, get CORSAIR to actually come to Africa, not just Nigeria, to actually set up local recycling facility to help with managing of plastic waste.
Okay, that's going to be like is it going to be like a partnership, or they're just going to come in and set up a full plastic recycling company?
Good.
Because I know that we still have our own local, in as much as they're not doing more, because you said 4% of the waste is being recycled.
Yes.
So I'm asking myself, what happened to the remaining, just like you said now. Okay, so what are they bringing in here? What's the whole idea of them coming in here? Why not strengthen the ones who have it, things they're not doing enough?
Okay.
It's not possible that they, just tell us how it works.
I think at this particular time, we need to look at, first, before we delve into that, we're talking about the connection between blockchain and the CSR. That was how I was explaining. I'm going to answer that question.
Oh, okay.
Now, when we talk about the CSR which you get, that CSR actually is the digital proof of recycled plastic waste from CORSAIR.
Okay.
So we do not have CSR credit when there is no recycling.
Okay.
So whenever CORSAIR recycled plastic waste, they generate CSR.
Okay.
Now, in order for us to support this campaign or this mission of CORSAIR International, we are saying that everyone globally can support this mission by actually acquiring what we call the plastic neutrality pack, which comes with the CSR.
Okay.
So once I purchase it, I'm supporting CORSAIR in the removal of that kilo of plastic waste.
Oh, okay, because everybody actually, contributes to this waste.
Exactly, everybody's contributing
so
to
everybody
it.
should also be part
Be a
of
partaker
this.
of it.
Okay.
You get it? So now, having said that, now let us now look at how do CORSAIR come in? Like you said, how do they set up or collaborate with local operators? Now, this is what brings us to the roadmap of entry of CORSAIR in every location or region.
Okay.
Now, the roadmap is designed, especially like the African roadmap, there's going to be like about a 3 years plan. The first year, which is kickstarting from 2024, is to start off the advocacy community.
Advocacy.
Yes.
Yeah, because people are not even aware,
They're not even aware about what is happening.
People don't even know how much waste they bring into the system, into the environment,
So part of what we are looking at is to sensitize and educate.
Okay.
So we're going to teach people how to calculate their plastic waste footprint as individuals, as an organization.
Okay.
So, in summary, as an individual, you contribute, as you are listening or watching this particular presentation, note this, that every year you contribute 50 kilos of plastic waste.
Wow, that's a lot.
And in a lifetime, you are contributing 5,000 kilos of plastic waste.
That's huge.
That is very huge. So it is based on these numbers that CORSAIR International Group is saying that we all can join hands together.
Yeah.
And how do we do that? That is why there's what we call an advocacy community. It's a global community, which is known as Amplivio.
Okay.
So the Amplivio is actually amplified change.
Oh, okay, so it's no longer about the government.
It's not about
not leaving
government.
it into the hands of the government alone.
You and I. It's a corporate social responsibility thing.
Yeah. I think everybody should actually be involved because we're all contributing to,
it.
Yeah.
So every one of us have a role to play. And that's why CORSAIR is saying, if you know your plastic waste contribution and support CORSAIR in the removal of that kilos, automatically we'll have a clean environment.
Yes, and that's what everybody is preaching. We want clean environment. What are you doing to to contribute to having a clean environment? And because a lot of people are out there talking. I mean, there's waste. If you look at our waterways, you see there's a lot of trash there. The plastic are floating there. I mean, I'm looking at it. I'm like saying, wow, how do we? These waterways are supposed to really be very, very important in every society.
Exactly.
But if you look at them, they're all clumped with a whole lot of trash, especially the plastic. And this plastic, like you said, can be recycled again to give us, what do you call it, petrochemical?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
In fact, that is why the CORSAIR approach of the technology is very impressive. because CORSAIR's process of recycle converts plastic waste into advanced bio oil.
Okay.
So, which means that in line with legislation,
Mm-hmm.
which of course is already happening in Europe and America,
Okay.
that every new manufacturing plastic company,
Mm.
so that they can reduce this plastic, outburst, should use between 30 to 60% in the production of new plastic. So what that means is that no company that wants to remain in business that deals with plastic should use 100% of new plastic material.
Oh, I see.
If they do, then they will not reduce it. So what they have said is that they need the activities of CORSAIR because CORSAIR is converting this plastic into bioadvanced oil, which is a major component of plastic creation.
Oh, I see.
So as they convert this plastic waste to bio-oil, these plastic or petrochemical companies are actually waiting to buy it because by legislation they need it, and that's a huge demand.
I think there's something I need to get clear here. So because it's looking quite exciting in the sense that so now you're going to be using part of the recycled material, no longer 100%.
Exactly.
Okay. Now, don't you think that the companies would rather go to buy the? I mean, what's the difference if I go to buy 30% of the material, then add 70% of my own very fresh material to it, making it 100% to use, okay, to do my business or whatever it is. I mean, how does it work? I'm trying to figure out.
Good.
Is
Now,
it that way or to go to cost? I mean, how does it work?
No. The answer to the question is that it is not that they are going to CORSAIR. The point that is a legislation that every company should show that the production of this new plastic, 30 to 60% of it was from recycled material.
Okay, so how do you show that?
Good. Now, showing that simply means that they need to buy the oil from plastic from certified companies, and CORSAIR is one of the certified organizations.
Oh, I see.
So for you to show proof that, look, I have bought this and this is what I have done, you need to show proof because ISCC is certifying CORSAIR that they can be able to do this. So many companies that do not want issues are in high demand of that advanced oil produced by CORSAIR.
Wow.
So that is why the role that they are playing is very, very significant.
Wow.
And that's why CORSAIR is now saying to everyone, we have a roadmap. The roadmap is that collectively, we would be able to reduce this by 2040.
Okay.
But for that to be possible, we will be establishing 144 recycling plants all over the world.
Wow. So how many do we have now?
Currently now, we have about 4.
Okay.
So the campaign, and that's why we are not talking about the advocacy.
Okay.
The more we have many people who are actually interested in a clean environment and part of the advocacy program, the more it empowers CORSAIR to establish more recycling facilities.
And that will also mean employment for
of
people,
course, yes.
Because if we have such in Nigeria, we're talking about reducing unemployment too.
Yes.
That people would have things to do.
And that's the more reason why when you look at the roadmap, if an individual, when we start up the advocacy, the idea is let's raise people to actually get to know.
Okay.
Individuals get to know.
Okay.
And we are saying become plastic neutral. What we're going to be hearing now as we start this advocacy is, are you 1 year plastic neutral? Are you 5 years? Are you a lifetime? So if you are 1 year, it means that you have purchased a neutrality pack that covers for 1 year.
Okay.
That means I purchased a neutrality pack to help in the removal of 50 kilos of waste. So that means for that year, I am neutral. If I actually purchase plastic neutrality pack for 5 years, it means that for 5 years, I am plastic neutral.
That means you have contributed to removing waste.
Waste, exactly, for 5 years.
Waste for 5 years. Yeah.
Because that 5 years is about 250 kilos.
But I mean, that's not a guarantee that because you have contributed to that, that doesn't mean you should just take your plastic and throw it on the street.
No.
Okay.
The point is that particular consciousness becomes there.
Yeah.
And what does it do from a local point of view? It shows that community is interested in plastic neutrality. Yeah. And that sends a signal to CORSAIR International. Okay. So the more we have individuals who have decided to drive this self-management system by supporting the removal of plastic waste, then it will lead to the second phase of the process of setting up a recycling facility, which is collaboration with local recycling companies in that region.
Okay.
So CORSAIR is saying when we raise advocacy, let's say in a state we have like 100,000 persons, oh, I want to support CORSAIR in this campaign. So what is the cost to remove 50 kilos of plastic?
Okay, hold on, Dr. Giled. Hold on, Dr. So my question is this, because we're talking about individual, is this all about individual or is it company? I also know that companies are also using this thing because you're saying individuals would, contribute and all of that to remove waste. What about the government? What about the companies? What about other organizations? Don't they play a role in this?
They do. Organization is pivotal because every organization is composed of individuals.
Okay.
So we are saying
as a company,
yeah, that's one side, but as individual is another.
Okay.
So if individuals in that company are plastic neutral, it means that they will likely be compliant as a company to become plastic neutral.
Okay.
So that's why we are starting first with individual.
Okay.
But there is also opportunity for the government, for the company.
Okay.
So companies that actually have to do with plastic, that produce package materials.
Yeah, package materials.
Good. Those companies, we would also teach them on how to calculate their plastic waste footprint. And how do they do that? When we reach out to a company, we look at, okay, last year, what was your plastic waste turnover? Once we know that, we're going to add about 20% to that. And if that organization is not able to support CORSAIR in the removal of that particular kilo of plastic waste, that organization can be said to be neutral. And guess what? That organization will have an opportunity to be able to have what we call a plastic neutrality sticker that they can add to their physical product.
So there's a sticker you put to your product?
Yes.
For instance, if I have a packed food or I have like bottled drinks,
yes.
So you're going to stick it on the...
Once you have attained plastic neutrality, CORSAIR would evaluate that and they will authorize. Once they authorize you, there's going to be a commercial showing that this company have attained plastic neutrality. How? This company is generating 10,000 kilos, but they have actually supported the removal of 50,000 kilos.
Well, that makes it very, credible, or they are conscious of not polluting the system. And
yes.
Every company would want to do that.
Exactly.
And of course, everybody wants to identify with such company.
In fact, the advocacy we are creating is to allow our community that patronize companies that are plastic neutral.
Yeah.
And those that are not, hey, stay.
Yeah, but that's true. I think I agree with that because really you can't be polluting the system and then you want us to be patronizing
exactly.
And then we'll complain about the environment being not friendly and all of that. Okay, thank you so much for that question. I have a lot of questions to ask you, but let's take a break. Hello viewers and welcome back. I still have with me Dr. Ambassador Gile Okoloko, the expert in the house when it comes to environment. So, Dr. Gile, tell me, with your background, what inspired you to go into environmental protection and all of that, and how does it, align with your course or what you've been doing before?
Thank you for that question. I would say that the research that has been done, when I looked at it, it was staggering. It was mind-blowing. Because when you look at the kilo of waste, plastic waste generated globally, and the weight of humans on Earth, then there's cause for worry. Because the global weight of humans on Earth is about 371 billion kilos.
371 billion kilos. That's the human weight.
Yes, everybody.
Okay. Okay.
And annually, we generate close to about 370 billion kilos of weight.
That's like the same weight of
almost
the human.
Exactly.
Wow. So are we not competing with the
So you can imagine that is annual. So that means in another year, it becomes 600. In 3 years, it becomes 900. In 5 years, it's going to be like 1 million.
Wow. So weight, the waste is even out. Or like the kilo is more than the human.
Exactly. And that is where there is a problem. So that means that a lot of disruption is going to happen. Aquatic life is going to be affected. Air pollution, landfills, all of these are issues.
It's already affected. That's
It's
why you're
already-
seeing the
Look at the issue of
global
increase
warming
in
and
cancer.
everything. Yeah.
These are the issue that is there.
Mm.
So because of that, and then I now went back in Africa, what is really happening is sad that Africa as a whole will recycle less than 4%.
Wow.
So even with what you see, this old waste that they are carrying everywhere,
Mm.
we are not still recycling.
Then there's a problem.
There is a problem. So it is based on this that we look at it. We're not looking at it from just a continent, a national or a country base. We're looking at it from a global perspective. And that is why we needed a solution that works, that is sustainable. And CORSAIR have that particular solution. Now, the most interesting part is transparency.
Okay.
And that is where technology comes in.
Okay.
So CORSAIR is actually using blockchain technology to digitally provide receipts of contributors who have supported them in the process of plastic waste removal.
Well, so what that means is that if anybody contributes to that, I can at any point in time check and find out that this company is actually
That is
contributing
exactly
without.
what we are saying.
Wow.
So once you buy a plastic neutrality pack,
Mm.
you have your CSR credit. That CSR credit, you can retire it on the blockchain. And once you do that, it generates a receipt with a hash and a reference key. Anywhere you go, just like you have your Bitcoin wallet address, you put it there and you verify and see this address has retired XYZ number of kilo. And that CSR is destroyed and attached to you and you alone. So no two person can be able to use a particular CSR that has actually been retired.
Wow.
So that is where CORSAIR is doing something amazing. So the whole idea is that you need to be part of this movement.
Okay.
And what is required? Very simple. Join the advocacy group.
Mm.
Identify, calculate your plastic waste footprint as an individual, as a company, and then support CORSAIR in the removal of that particular plastic waste by buying a neutrality pack that covers the kilo of that particular waste.
I think this is what every person should actually get involved with, because really it just gives you that kind of self fulfillment, would I say, or let me put it this way, not fulfillment per se, but responsibility.
Corporate
Yes.
social responsibility.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So you know that you're actually doing what you're supposed to do.
Right.
Okay, nobody's gonna be. I mean, this is not something that we need to force any person,
No.
but it's something that every individual should know that as part of being on this planet Earth, okay, the waste that you generate, you should also contribute to removing it from the system. And so I think it's nice to hear Ambassador Dr. Gile talking about how you can collaborate with the CORSAIR and then be able to manage our waste. Our environments are dirty, are filthy, and we're complaining. Activities going on everywhere, but in a very dirty environment. It's not what we're at this point in time. It's not something we should be smiling at. No, this is something that needs to be taken out of the environment. We need to be serious with this. We need to be deliberate about this. We need to be health conscious. Cancer, a lot of things are on the increase because of the way we live our life. Okay, so this is an opportunity to be part of a system that cleans up the environment. And Dr. Gile, you're going to be throwing more light. We're going to call you back again to explain, because it's still looking very a bit complex. Because we're not used to that here in Africa.
Sure.
So maybe with time, more advocacy, more awareness, we'll get to understand better. And so tell us, if anybody wants to be part of the system, okay, how do we do it? How do we go about it? I want to be part of this system that will talk about clean environments. So what do we do?
I think it's very, very simple. So what we are saying is that we already have Amplivo, which is amplified change.
Amplified change.
Yes.
Okay.
It is a global advocacy community that is focused on supporting CORSAIR and the removal of plastic waste. So the first thing is for you to become part of Amplivo.
Okay.
So what is required? You just need to decide on what, first of all, calculate your plastic waste and then say, I want to remove it.
Okay.
Then once you do that, as soon as you sign up with the Amplivio community, there's a way whereby you can be able to actually contribute in the removal of that kilos. And once you do that, then you now have your CSR plastic credit. That CSR plastic credit, to get a digital receipt, all you need to do is to retire it. And once you retire it, you actually would have your certificate.
Mm.
Now, the other benefit too is that even if you actually would acquire the plastic neutrality pack and you decide to hold on to the CSR, that means you are not retiring it. So if you have not retired the CSR, you are still holding it, that means you can still transfer ownership. That's why it's on the blockchain.
Okay.
But the moment you retire it, then you cannot transfer. You only get what? A certificate.
I don't even think you should transfer it because you're actually contributing to the removal
Fantastic.
of it. So that's supposed to be your own responsibility
Exactly.
as a person or as a company or as a group
As
or
an
whatever it
individual.
is.
So
Right.
we are using this opportunity to extend that, I'll say, continental call.
Okay.
Everyone everywhere to be able to identify themselves with CORSAIR through what? Amplivo. So for that to be possible, just reach out because we are putting in place what we call influencers,
Okay.
Amplivo influencers.
Okay.
These are individuals who are serious-minded and they are interested in environmental protection.
Okay.
We are going to be positioning them in every state, in every district, in every region, and in every country. And sooner or later, we'll begin to connect with this particular individual as we carry out this advocacy campaign. All we are saying is be part of this change. Decide on how you can remove the particular plastic waste you are contributing. And in the long run, we are going to achieve a society that is clean and environmental free.
Wow, thank you so much, Dr. Giled. He's also an ambassador for peace, UN ambassador for peace, and of course, so many things. I can't name all the qualifications, all the accolades he's gotten over the years. I'm still counting, and today he's bringing good news about making sure that your environments are clean. But there's something I missed out. I wanted to find out.
Okay.
Now, is it just plastic? So if you have other waste in your house, do you have another body that would check that one out? Or is this one just particular to plastic?
Fantastic. Like I said, this particular prayer from CORSAIR as of now is focused on plastic. Okay. So that's why we have the CSR plastic credit. So our focus is plastic. And that is why when we get to the stage of setting up of our recycling facility, part of what would be involved is sorting out of these plastics.
Okay.
So that we can be able to sort out plastic from non-plastic.
Okay.
And then CORSAIR's focus is on plastic because that is actually that waste that is not easily degradable.
Yes.
That's the problem.
Yeah, that's the problem.
And so that's where we are focusing on.
Yeah, that's the problem. So now we have a solution to the problem. Thank you so much for being on the
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Looking forward to having you again. I hope you honor our invitation next time to talk more on the same.
I'll be honored to do that.
Yes. Okay, so you heard it from the African coordinator, Ambassador Dr. Giled, on environmental protection. Make sure you're part of the system. Make sure that you connect with Dr. Giled to also know how you can contribute to removing plastic waste from our environment. And this is me, Dr. Chinwigwe, signing out.